And some girl comes dancing, and when the girl comes dancing, you are lost up in her chum, so much chum करके उसका पायल से डांस करके आती है, आप सिंदूर खड़े हैं और वो चम करके आए हैं, इसमें उसको ड्राउन हो जाते हैं, डूब जाते हैं, वो आके राखी बांध के चली जाती है। ऐसा अगर नहीं होना है तो आपको अलर्ट एंड अवेयर रहना है। While so many of your friends have come here and done presentation, I must appreciate all of them. So Manish Biswas, Shruti Karta, Tulika Bodhi, Ashton Carvalho, Michael Futano, Ira Singh, Mahi Jain, Kashu Singh, I believe he is the one who introduced me. That's it. Arohi Singh and Shreya Uppu, Nandini Ramesh, and we have the compares Bhuvi, Mahika and Amalu. And I must say Mallika, who introduced Dr. Jayalakshmi. Is she here? Jayalakshmi, namaste. And I must say that they have done a wonderful job for all that. Give them a very big hand, my dear friends. Therefore, my dear friends, what I have to tell you is about life skills and how to catch them. You have to catch it, and if you have to catch it, you have to be alert and aware of what you are going to do so that it can be transformational. It seems there was an animal vendor who wanted to send a pet to another friend of his in another town, a little farther away. So he asked one of his boys, "Arey, take this rabbit in a cage. The rabbit is in a cage. Take this rabbit in the cage and go and deliver it to the other person who's in another village. And here is the address." He writes the address in a piece of paper and gives it to the young boy. That boy takes that rabbit in the cage all the way to the other village, and he keeps the address in his pocket. And as he goes, he finds on the way a jungle, and he was a little tired, so he sleeps under a big banyan tree, and he keeps the cage down. For some reason or other, the cage breaks, and the rabbit runs away from the cage. The rabbit escapes from the cage. The others who saw that, he said, "What? If the rabbit escapes from the cage, you know your boss is somebody like a Pathan, he will smash you." He says, "This boy is laughing. This boy is laughing. Where can that rabbit go? I have got the address in my pocket." He says. "Where can the rabbit go? I have got the address in the pocket," that boy says. In the same way, my dear friends, in the same way, very often we think that our address is our destination. It is not. The address is not our destination. We may know a lot of things. We may have an understanding of a lot of skills. We may know what is nutritious food. But if you don't take the nutritious food, there is no use. If you go to somebody's house and somebody has made excellent vada, you will say, "What? Give me more vada. I come keep asking for more often to your house. You give me vada. You will keep saying that." No, you will ask for the recipe, isn't it? When you ask for the recipe, you don't take the recipe and go to your house in your puja room and keep it and do chandi homa of that recipe. You have to try out that recipe. You have to make the vada. You have to feed it and then finally eat the vada, isn't it, friends? An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Not if you do chandi homa to the apple, but if you can eat the apple. In the same way, my dear friends, to have the destination is more important, not the direction, not the address. And to know this, therefore, my dear friends, learn to keep the destination in your focus. And when you have the destination in your focus, you change all your life. If you keep doing whatever you are doing, you will keep getting whatever you are getting. Is a very known statement. All of us know it. But if you have to change your way of life, your lifestyle, you need to bring about a change in what you are going to do in your life. Yes or no, my dear friends? Therefore, let there be a change and then bring a new dimensions to your life. What is that new dimension that I need to bring into my life? Quickly, I would like to say that, otherwise Radhakrishnan will come forward and say, "But time is up, sir." You know, there was a man who was putting some water to a plant, a flower pot in his balcony. Every day he'll come and bring a bucket, he'll take the mud and he'll pour some action he will do of pouring water to that flower pot. Another friend of his in the same society was looking at this man every day in the balcony. He comes and he pours water from a bucket to that plant. So I want to know why he is doing that. Because there is no water in the bucket. There is no water in the mug. But he does the actions of taking water into the bucket, taking water from the bucket and pouring the water onto the plant. Why is he doing this action? So this little man was a little confused and he was a little inquiring. So he went to him and asked him, "Every day, sir, I see you pouring water to that plant, but there is no water in the bucket, there is no water in the mug. Why are you doing that?" He says, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? क्या फर्क पड़ता है? वो jar तो plastic jar है. That flower pot itself is a plastic one. But this man continues to do the ritual of pouring water to that plant, which is a flower pot, which is a plastic plant. And he says, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? In the same way, my dear friends, in some form or other, we are living our life as a ritual. I'm hitting upon that point. We are living our life as a ritual. And when we live our life as a ritual, everything takes the boredom center. Everything appears very drab. Oh, I need to do it, so I'm doing it. Because it is part of my thing, I need to do it. What others will think, therefore I need to do it. A lot of logic comes behind whatever we are doing. Yes or no? If I can avoid that ritual, and if I can avoid giving yourself a boredom center, whatever events that happen before you falls in our boredom center. And if it falls in the boredom center, what happens is everything becomes same. It becomes a drab, and I keep doing it just because I need to do it. Get up in the morning, same sun, ain't wasting my time and disturbing me. You get up from there and you go to the bathroom, same bathroom. You look at the toothbrush, you say, same toothbrush. Then you see the toothpaste, same toothpaste. And as you keep saying that, your face becomes drab and like that. Then when it becomes that, it becomes so disempowered. And then you say, same toothbrush, you go to the toilet seat, same toilet seat, and then same, I don't know what, it is not the same, but still you do it. And then you flush it, it's the same flush. And then you come to the dining room, onto your dining desk, and you say, same dining desk, same coffee. Is it not true, my dear friends?
Yes.
Same coffee, same breakfast, same clothes, same books of geography, same books of mathematics, same books of chemistry. Yes or no? Yes. That sameness becomes a virus. If anything can become contagious in us, not the TV which the doctor was talking about, if anything can be contagious, can that be contagious by your looking at the newness of whatever you are looking at? Your geography book, your maths book, your history book, let there be a newness. अरे क्या बात है वो ये नेल्सन कभी मर गया मुझे क्या पता वो पटियाला का कभी हुआ तो मुझे क्या है अरे देश में इधर ये वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 आया तो हुआ तो हो गया तो मुझे क्या करने का है ऐसा काइंड ऑफ एटीट्यूड ऑफ व्हाट इज देयर इन इट फॉर मी how does it make a difference to the other? This kind of attitude if you have and you bring about a drabness, that drabness of the boredom center creates a deathness in us. Yes or no, my dear friends? That deathness is a minute-to-minute deathness that happens. I want to ask all of you, are we growing from the fetus? Are we growing from the fetus or are you going towards the symmetry? Make an audit and see. Anytime if I ask you, can you define yourself? Are we going from the fetus or are we going towards the symmetry? If I am growing from the fetus and adding life to your years, that will be a fantastic thing. Rather than adding years to your life, which anyway it will happen. Yes or no? Yes. If you are 42, you'll be 43. You'll be 44, you'll be 45. By default it happens. But bringing life to your years is something that you need to do from your own attitude. Correct or not? And therefore to bring that attitude of wow, bring that attitude of newness in everything that you do is what is important. Even this place, you say, oh, the same kind of place that is there, same Nerul Gymkhana. Not really, my dear friends. It is not a sameness. Do you know every place you are in right now, this very moment, we are in the new place in the universe. We have never been here before. Are you digesting that? We are in the new place in the whole of the universe. Every moment is a new moment. Come from the newness. Otherwise, you will be drowned in the sameness. And the sameness can be a tremendously virus that can eat into your own immunology. There was a fellow who had his lunch dabba. He goes to the canteen with his another friend. And both the friends sit together and they have opened their dabba and they are going to eat it. So this man says, oh, same sandwich. So the neighbor who is sitting with him, he says, hey, Vijay, every day you're bringing the sandwich, you're bringing your dabba, and you keep on saying same sandwich, same sandwich. Why don't you tell your people in your home, your wife, to pack up something else, maybe like an aloo parota or some methi parota? She will make the changes as you tell. No, it's not that. I am the one who packed the sandwich this morning. I know there's going to be a sandwich in it. So I'm saying same sandwich. It is he who packed the sandwich. He was aware that the sandwich is his own, and therefore he comes from the state of same sandwich, same sandwich, same sandwich. In the same way, my dear friends, if you come into the sameness, you go to work, you see the same boss, you go to see your secretary, it's the same secretary, all your team members same, you come back home and you say same wife. I hope you don't say that because you'll get a beating, then you'll know how not to use that word sameness. And when you are in that state of sameness, Swamiji often says, it is your state of being which can create the change and the transformation. It is not your knowledge, it is not your understanding, it is not all that you have acquired, it is the state of being, and the state of being is drowned in that sameness and drabness of boredom. If the state of being is drowned and in the drabness of boredom, of doing ritualistically, then you will see this drabness, this kind of boredom will eat into your own immunology, and you will see your face becoming there is no enthusiasm, there is no alertness, there is no wowness, nothing really happens. To bring that wowness into our lives, you need a different kind of psychology, you need a different kind of state of being, and this state of being is what you can think about. It seems there was an airport, there was a young man, and there was a flight all the people were waiting for the flight to be announced, and there at the reception somebody stands up and says the flight is delayed by 2 hours because there is a technical problem in the plane. On hearing this, everybody stands up and goes and shouts at that person, how can this plane be delayed? Technical problem, I have something urgent, and this is not the way it should be, etc., etc., etc. But there was one young boy who was standing at the end of that lounge. He stands up and says, wow. What does he say?
Wow.
Now, see, even the word wow is not coming out well from you. What does he say?
Wow.
That's it. Make it possible. What does he say?
Wow.
Everybody's shocked. There's enough reason to be feeling bad about this. The flight is delayed. But a boy who is saying wow. But nobody had the guts to go and ask him to keep quiet. After 2 hours, another announcement comes. The flight is further delayed because the staff have not yet arrived. And hearing this, again everybody stands up and says, what is this? Are you running a plane or are you running a bullock cart? If this is not the way, why don't you give it up, etc., 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 shouting at the reception. And there this young boy stands up on his chair and he says,
wow. Wow.
What does he say?
Wow.
Again people are shocked, but they didn't have the guts to ask him, so they kept quiet. After an hour, another announcement comes saying the flight is further delayed by 1 hour because the weather at the destination is bad. On hearing this, everybody gets up and shouts and etc., etc., etc. But the young boy at the corner of the lobby stands up and says,
wow.
You might be wondering why that young boy is saying wow, wow, wow all this while. क्या दीवाना हो गया क्या? क्या उसको क्या feeling bad नहीं है? So another young boy in this group who was seeing all these things was shocked how this young boy is saying wow for things for which you naturally have to feel bad. So he gets up, goes there and catches him by the collar, lifts him up and says, are you not feeling bad? That boy says, yes sir, I am feeling bad. Hear this very carefully, my dear friends. It is not the words that is important. It is the state of his being. Again, let me repeat. It is the state of his being which can generate those words which is important. So he goes and asks him, are you not feeling bad? That boy says, of course I am feeling bad. But my dear friends, he asked this question. But my dear friend, what use is feeling bad going to do to the situation? Just digest it. What is feeling bad going to do to the situation? By feeling bad, will the technical problem in the plane get solved?
No.
By feeling bad, will the staff arrive immediately?
No.
By feeling bad, will that weather in the other place be improved? None of it is going to happen. Feeling bad has got no transactional value. Feeling bad doesn't give you a profit, doesn't give you any dividend, doesn't give you any interest. Feeling bad is of no use whatsoever. It has got no transformational value. Yes or no, my dear friends?
Yes.
Therefore, If you have say feel bad is of no use. I as a human being, this is the most greatest thing he had said. I as a human being have a choice whether to feel bad or to feel good. Give a hand, no.
Ah.
Give a hand for that. That state of being where he said, I have a choice. I am not a victim. I am not under any kind of imprisonment. I have a choice, and the choice exists in me all the time, whether to feel bad or to feel good. And he says, when I have that choice, I put the choice of wanting to feel good and not feel bad, not to get victimized by feeling bad. And in order to feel good, I stand up and say,
Wow.
and when I say wow, I change the context of my very state of being. Then I decide, how do I spend the time? 2 hours technical problem. I can do nothing. Staff have not arrived. I can do nothing. The weather is not bad, is bad in the destination. I can do nothing. But the time I can spend effectively, rather than complaining, rather than being kicked, making complaints and already getting angry. Rather than that, if I can spend the time well of preparing some notes, some presentation is not complete, some other work is not done, so I do my work and do all that book reading, etc. I do, and I spend my time effectively. Therefore, my dear friends, at any time, learn the art of feeling good and create that sense of wowness in us, then you'll see a tremendous difference will start taking place. Unless you do that, boredom can take you to different ends. There was one such guy who was very bored in his work. Anything, even if Swamiji gives a talk, he'll ask, Swamiji says, you must all smile. He'll stand up and ask, why I should smile? Then somebody, he tells them, you must feel happy. Why I should feel happy? You must have a good marriage, you must have good relationship. Why I should have good relationship? You must have a big performance, you must be a successful person. Why should I be a successful person? Then Swamiji asks him, what's your name? His name is Y. Venkatesh. And Swamiji says, very rightly, your father has given the right name of Y. Venkatesh. And if you have this boredom in you, then it is something like this. Some people, no matter what you do, their faces will not change. Like, drab look. And in the drab look, they get married. Can you believe it? In the drab look, on the horse, they are still drab look. They get married in the pandal also, look. And after marriage, they still drab. They say go for honeymoon. And honeymoon also very drab kind of thing. I don't know what they're doing there. But honeymoon also so drab and drab, boredom, eating upon them. They enter the honeymoon. After honeymoon, 9 months later, one child is born. And the child also, And they ask Swamiji, do you take any program for young children to motivate them? What Swamiji can do, what anybody else can do, it's a manufacturer's defect. Yes or no, my dear friend? And if you are practicing boredom, I'm telling you, if you are a badminton player, if you play badminton, young students, please tell me, if you play badminton, practice badminton for 2 years, you will represent your school. Isn't it yes or no? Yes. If you practice badminton for 3 years or 4 years, you will represent your district. Yes or no? Yes. If you practice badminton for 6 years, 7 years, you might be a national player. Yes or no? Yes. And if you practice boredom for 12 years, then what are you going to do? That is precisely what we are doing. As young people, make sure that particular context is changed. Don't practice boredom. Look at life. Look at your books with a wowness. When you look at it, it's an attitudinal thing. Boredom is also attitudinal. It doesn't happen by the knuckles. It doesn't happen by the ankle. It doesn't happen by your kidney. It doesn't happen by the liver. Boredom happens purely because of the mind. Yes or no?
Yes.
And if the mind can give, rather than only be what should I say, impacted by what has happened around you. Therefore, learn to be not a manufacturer's defect, but to represent the creativity of the Lord wherever you go. It seems there was a big Sardar in Swamiji who was there in a particular place, and people had to go a long distance walking, maybe bullock cart, etc., just to have a darshan of that Swamiji. So when they go there and they see the Swamiji, it is fantastic. They feel as though the God is alive, and they see the symptoms of what is Swamiji and what is the divinity, etc., in the very darshan of that Guruji. So one politician who goes into the crowd and sees all these young people have got so much of bhakti, they say, wow, to the very darshan of this Guruji, there must be something great about it. So he catches a young boy and asks him, what do you find here when you look at that Guruji? He says, when I look at that Guruji, I have a lot of bhakti. I have a feeling that God really exists. I know that divinity exists. And therefore, the very presence of Guruji is so profound and so impactful. So this politician looks at himself and says, okay, when you look at me, what do you feel? When you look at me, he looks at the politician and tells the young boy, please tell me, when you look at me, what do you feel? That boy looks him up and down and then says, I know the Lord can also make mistakes. Some people live life as though they have escaped the assembly line of the vigilance of Swamiji, of the God. As though they have escaped the vigilance and the instruction and assembly line of the Lord, and have somewhere continued to live in this life as parents, maybe as teachers, maybe as something else, maybe as executives, and maybe as husbands, and such people who I believe have tremendous problem, who are nothing but manufacturer's defect. My dear friends, learn to live even with that. It is necessary for us to do that. And unless you do that, you will see that life is very, very forlorn. There is a lady who is sitting in her living room and is doing some japa. She is going on telling some mantra. So the husband comes into the house. What is that you are doing? I am doing the mantra. Can you tell me what the mantra is? No, I can't tell you what the mantra is. My Guruji told me not to tell you. Huh? I am married to you for 25 years. You can't share that mantra to me. How dare you say that? Come on, tell me what the mantra is. She says, no, I can't tell you the mantra. She goes on saying, she tells the mantra. He gets so angry, he goes into the bedroom, puts his box onto the bed, puts all his clothes into that. Mantra or me! He shouts from there. She doesn't say anything, she keeps on telling the mantra. Then he again says, puts all the clothes to the box, comes out of the living room, and then again looks at her and says, mantra or me, that Guru has come only today and I am here 25 years, you can't share the mantra with me. She doesn't say anything, she keeps on saying the mantra. Goes to the door with the box in his hand, opens the door and then says, once again I am asking you, mantra or me? She doesn't say anything. He continues to chant the mantra. When he goes out and closes the door, slams the door shut, she turns, looks at the door and smiles and says, the mantra works. My dear friend, some people want the mantra to work on people whom they don't want them to be there. And if they don't want them to be there, their energy is such, one of boredom, one of kit, one of complaint, and this is going on in your life. And as you grow older and older and older, make sure you are not one of them. I'm reminded of a story of a young man, about 45 years old. He was declared dead by the doctor. Then the undertaker coffin people came and they put the body into the coffin box and they locked it. I'm going a little fast. And then they take the coffin onto the cemetery. And on the way, as the lady also, the house also, she is walking behind the coffin, somehow these four wall breakers, unfortunately they go and hit one pillar. When they hit that pillar, the coffin opens. That man inside says, hey, where are you taking me? I'm not dead, I'm okay. Everybody apologizes, I'm sorry, something wrong has happened, but I hope you are nice and I'm very glad. Please come home. Then he goes back home. After 10 years, once again the doctor comes and then he declares that the man as dead. Again the pallbearers come, they put the body into the coffin and they close the digging and then they again take the coffin, the box to the cemetery. And on the way, the lady of the house goes in front of the box in front this time. And when they enter the cemetery, she stops at the pillar and says, make sure you don't hit this pillar. Some people, my dear friends, I would like you to be alert to this aspect and see how you can bring the wowness in your life, how you can radiate your friends, that you are representing not as a manufacturer's defect, but as the creative ability of the Lord. Let there be a potential to bring about that creative ability. If you only look at inadequacies, then you will tell yourself, oh, I can't do it. I am too small. Oh, it's a failure. Oh, I can't do it. I'm a small boy. I can't speak English. I'm no good. This is the level of inadequacies that you are looking at. And when you are so listening about your inadequacies, this is the self-talk that happens because we are so focused on our own inadequacies. There was a CEO of an organization and there was a launching there of a plane, which is a pilotless plane. This is not yet come, but I'm just making up a story for you. There is a pilotless plane and there is a launch of the pilotless plane and all the people who contributed. for making that pilotless plane take off and take a ride. So all the CEOs of those contributing organizations were called and they were made to sit in the plane. And then an announcement came that now the plane is going to take off. All of you who have contributed, we are very thankful to you for having given various things that made this plane possible, this very launch possible. So those of you who would like to sit and take care of this launching, may please continue to be here, she said, and the plane will take off in 5 minutes. Soon a few of the CEOs simply got up from their seats and walked away.
Oh.
They knew that it's a launching of a pad, first time a plane is taking off, and there is a pilotless plane. How can we sit? The CEOs walked away. Seeing a few 5 of them walk away, another 5 of them walk away. Like that, another 5 of them walk away. Like ultimately, there is only one man sitting comfortably on his chair. Some journalists is surprised how this man got so much of confidence to sit in that plane, in that launching of a pilotless plane. So he goes and interviews him. I want to know, sir, all the other CEOs who are your partners in this wonderful launch, all of them have stood up and walked away. Only you are sitting there all alone. What is the confidence that you have? He says, I am the one who gave the software for the takeoff of this plane. And I am extremely sure that the plane will not take off. Some people are very confident of their inadequacies. Please mark this. Very confident of their inadequacies, and they trust and they doubt their own potentials. They are very confident of their own inadequacies, but they doubt their inner potentials. If this can be avoided, learn to trust your most important potential. Your potentials are what is going to give you the success in your life. Learn to trust your potential and doubt your inadequacies. Don't look at the thorns in your rose bush. Don't look at small things that hit you. What happens to us, or in fact really, is we are impacted by situations. We are pushed in life. If I ask you pushed in life, is it really true? I'm saying it is really true. Given some time. A little baby when you are born, you are lying like this. Yes or no?
Yes.
And then your mother came and pushed you to turn around. And you turn around, your muscles started working. Yes or no? And it was pushed to make you turn. Then you are coming on your force. Again your mother and father pushed you, dakla, so that you can come on the foot. Yes or no? Then you are made to stand and dakla, you can take couple of feet, you take couple of moves and then you fall down. It happened to me, it happened to every one of us. Yes or no? दकल के हमने खड़ा हुआ, दकल के हम थोड़ा चलने को लगे, दकल के हम थोड़ा भागने को लगे. हाँ या ना?
Yes.
Then बच्चे पेरेंट्स बोले अरे ना इसको तो ABCD सिखाना है, तो दकल के A for
Apple.
B for
Boy.
अरे सबको हुआ था, सिर्फ मुझे नहीं, सबको हुआ था ना. A for
Apple.
B for
Boy.
C for
Yeah.
ऐसा करते करते दकल के उसको सिखाया ABCD. लेकिन किसी ने बोला अरे इसको चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट बनना है, इंजीनियर बनना है, 1 2 3 सिखाना है, तो दकल के उसको 1 2 3 सिखाया है कि नहीं?
Yes.
जब 2 बरस हुआ तो उसको भाई अपना बस आएगा तो प्री स्कूल में उसको भेजने का टाइम हो गया. तो प्री स्कूल के भेजने के लिए दकलेंगे बच्चे को. बच्चा रोता है, बोलता है नहीं मम्मी पल्लू आएगी क्या, पल्लू गिल्लू नहीं आएगी, आपको जाना पड़ेगा. दकल के आपको बस में शिफ्ट करते हैं. हाँ या ना?
Yes.
All grandmothers are laughing because that is the true thing in their life now. Yes or no?
Yes.
दकल के रोते हम जाते हैं बस में, वो प्री स्कूल में. उधर जाके देखा तो हमारे जैसे दकले हुए और भी फ्रेंड्स बैठे हैं. सब दकले हुए लोग हैं और सब रोते हैं. देखते हुए हाँ करके उधर सत्संग शुरू हो जाता है. और उधर सत्संग शुरू हो जाता है तो उधर स्टार्ट हो जाता है अपना प्री केजी, प्री स्कूल, फर्स्ट स्टैंडर्ड, सेकंड स्टैंडर्ड, और टीचर्स भी इसमें शामिल हो जाते हैं दकलने का. हाँ या ना? ना टीचर्स भी दकलते हैं, माँ बाप दकलते हैं, अंकल दकलते हैं, मामा दकलते हैं, आंटी दकलते हैं, सब लोग दकलते हैं फर्स्ट स्टैंडर्ड टू सेकंड स्टैंडर्ड. हाँ या ना? अरे आप लोग हाँ बोलते, आप लोग से ये आना पड़ेगा. मैं बोलूंगा फर्स्ट स्टैंडर्ड टू सेकंड स्टैंडर्ड, आप लोग बोलेंगे दकल बोलेंगे.
Yes.
So then only you'll digest it and feel it. Otherwise, just hearing is not enough. Okay. Now I will say second to third standard. You will say दकल के हुए ही हुआ है, और क्या हुआ? हाँ या ना? तो आप लोग बोलेंगे दकल करेंगे.
Yes.
अरे थोड़ा मजाक करो ना, क्या बात. ओके. नर्सरी टू फर्स्ट स्टैंडर्ड. अरे हाथ भी ऐसा करो, ऐसा बैठ के नहीं करो, सीओ जैसा नहीं करो. बच्चों के लोग बोल रहा हूँ, ये श्योर फैक्ट है कि दकल के ही बने ना. है ना? So now I want you to say, come on, first standard to second standard,
धकल धकल के
second to third standard,
धकल के
third to fourth standard.
धकल धकल के
Are those who are not doing it are not being dhakal. Okay, second to third standard,
धकल धकल के
third to fourth standard,
धकल धकल के
fourth to fifth standard,
धकल धकल
fifth to
के
sixth standard.
धकल धकल के
Suddenly we have reached teenage, and in the teenage our chemistry changes. आया नहीं, रसायन बदलता है. जब रसायन बदलता है आदमी का साइकोलॉजी भी बदलता है. उसका लाइक्स एंड डिसलाइक्स अलग अलग हो जाता है. उसका हो जाता है, नया इंटरेस्ट आ जाता है ना, ओपिनियंस आ जाता है ना, व्यूज आ जाता है. उसका लाइक्स अलग होता है, डिसलाइक्स अलग होता है. somebody asked न्यूट्रिशनल फूड, आनंद न्यूट्रिशनल फूड सजेस्ट करेगा तो भी उनको न्यूट्रिशनल फूड नहीं चाहिए, उसका ओपिनियन है. हाँ या ना? Dealing with teenagers something you have to learn, I'm telling you. And therefore this होता है, likes and dislikes होते हैं धकल के. लेकिन टीनेज तो अपने आप आ गया. आपने कोई बटन प्रेस किया? आपने मॉल में जाके कुछ प्रोग्राम खरीदा था क्या? आपने कुछ लगाया था उसके अंदर? टीनेज आया कैसा? खाया पिया सुख से सोया. टीनेज तो अपने आप आ गया, अपने आप आ गया. जब टीनेज आया माइंड का सोच अलग होता है, अपना माइंड अलग होता है, उसका केमिस्ट्री अलग होता है, उसका रसायन बदलता है. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट रसायन, अभी रसायन भी उसको धकलता है. मैं बोलूंगा तो आप बोलेंगे कैसे कैसे सर रसायन बदलता है. 70 बरस तक किसी ने रसायन बदलते धकलते आज वो प्रिजन में बैठा है ना. Even till 70 somebody's psychology is getting pushed by that same rasayan. And if you see many people's lives, that rasayan is not tapering off. That rasayan is also participating in the dakal, and dakal के आदमी बन जाता है. दकलने का एक प्रोग्राम है, दकलने का एक फ्लेवर है. When you become a dakal oriented person, you become a push oriented person. When you become a push oriented person, there is a conflict in your life. जबरदस्ती, ये मुझे क्यों है, मैं ही क्यों करना है, जकरेगा तो मैं करूंगा, नहीं तो मैं नहीं करूंगा. So push orientedness has an experience. My dear friends, please get this. If you are push oriented, you will get this feeling of being in conflict, of being in forced to do something, of having to be pushed to do something, and unless you are pushed, you will not do anything, and that activity is because of the flavor and the very experience of the programming of push orientedness. My invitation to all of you as you are growing youngsters, and I want to tell all the parents, as growing youngsters, drop this programming of push orientedness. And when you drop that program of push orientedness and come from a wish oriented person, wish karo, push nahi karo, wish karo. When I was saying this somewhere else, somebody went and bought a dish TV. क्या बात है यार, शाहरुख खान आके टीवी पे बोलता है डिश टीवी खरीदो. इसके लिए नहीं मैं बोल रहा हूँ. विश करो बोलेंगे तो आप खुद को लाइफ कैसा होना चाहिए, आप उसका एक गोल पोस्ट फिक्स करो और आपका एक प्रोजेक्ट फिक्स करो और आपकी डायरेक्शन दे दो. डोंट बी व्हाट शुड आई से ड्रिफ्टेड बाय द मसल्स ऑफ द वेव्स ऑफ द ओशन. If you look at our own lives, we are drifting in the middle of the sea by the muscles of the waves of the ocean. We are not knowing on which side the boat is going, for there is no compass. You don't know where the north is, where east is, west is, where south is. You have no idea where the direction is. All sides it is water, and when all sides the water, the muscles of the waves of the ocean are taking the boat in any direction it wants. And when it goes in any direction, you do not know where your direction is. Then what does it matter where that boat is landing? In Timbuktu? Or in JNPT, or in Kakinada, or in any other place. What difference does it make? You have not given direction to the boat. To give direction to the boat is to be free of your own chemistry, is to be free of what your mind is telling, is to be free of what the impacts of various paristhithis that have happened. In fact, we take the impact of the various scarring of the incidents that happened in our life, of our experiences, of our judgments, of our conclusions. And we are pushed, we are driven. And when we are driven and pushed by that, we become a consequence of your own experience. In short, I'm saying, is that true to all of you friends? We become a consequence, a parinam of whatever has happened before. Let our life not be a parinam. Let it not be a consequence. Let it be an inspiration. If it is not an inspiration, my dear friends, tell me, how does an auto rickshaw driver's daughter How does she become a gold medalist, CA number 1 all India? Writing all the 7 semesters of Chartered Accountancy in one hand and having passed it, not only passed it, but having got gold medalist all India number 1, an auto rickshaw driver's daughter. उसका परिस्थिति क्या है? आजू बाजू के घर में किसी का झाड़ू पोछा करने का जो असाइनमेंट होगा उधर जाके रहेगा तो वही करेक्ट है ना उसका परिस्थिति का अनुसार. लेकिन वो परिस्थिति ऐसा होते हुए भी she became a chartered accountant number 1 all India. A farmer's daughter. And how a farmer's daughter became an IAS officer? परिस्थिति क्या है? But फिर भी वो मनोस्थिति इतनी पावरफुल थी that she became a very good IAS officer. There is a blind girl, it came in the paper a few days back, a blind girl who became an IAS or IFS officer. Yes or no? Did all of you read it in the paper? And how that happened? It is because the paristhiti is still there. Nobody can stop the paristhiti. Despite whatever paristhiti, a rag picker's son, he becomes a national football player. Look at the paristhiti of that boy. Look at the success stories of all of them. Everybody had paristhiti of various kinds. Despite the paristhiti, there was something called manosthiti. That manosthiti was larger. We can use our mind as an impacting faculty. If the old outsiders and my past experiences and my conclusions and my judgment can be impacting us, we can use our mind as an impacting faculty. Whatever is happening outside can impact me. I get hurt, I get upset, I get failure, I get down, and all that can be an impacting faculty. But Lord Krishna tells Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, Uddhare Atmanam Avatanam Atmanam Avasadaye. Don't blame your mind. Uddhare means lift yourself by yourself. No guru can do anything to you. Uddhare Atmanam. That means by yourself you have to lift yourself. Nobody else, your mother, father, brother, sister, boyfriend, girlfriend can do nothing about it. It's totally a personal matter, and when that happens as a personal matter, you lift yourself by that. And when you lift yourself by that, you have a powerful manosthiti. When you have a powerful manosthiti, that is how a newspaper vendor can become a president of the country. Yes, my dear friends? Yes, do you know that general knowledge?
Yes.
A simple chai wala can become the prime minister of a country. Yes, do you know that?
Yes.
Does it inspire you?
Yes.
It should inspire you, the fact that manosthiti should be larger in your own field of activity. Whatever you do, learn to bring that manosthiti larger, and when you bring that largerness, then there will be an enthusiasm in whatever you do. Your life should be one of inspiration, and when that life of inspiration and enthusiasm starts coming into our life, a totally new dimension will start opening up, and then you will see your change, your life will be transformed into something more powerful than what it is. If this can happen, my dear friends, a tremendous difference will start taking place. Where does all this happen? All this happens not at the kidney, not at the ankle, not at any other place, not even at the knees. It happens only at the mind. And how big is your mind? Your mind, very short, I would like to say, the mind is only 0.5% of all the systems in your body. Ask Dr. Madam, she will tell you, 99.5% of all the systems in your body, the hardware and the software, are all given to you free of charge. Yes or no? Respiratory, digestive, infiltration, anything, circulatory, skeletal, etc., lymphatic, endocrinal, all these systems have a hardware, they also have a software, yes or no? Yes. And all these systems were given to you free of charge. Are you digesting it? Yes. Say, wow, no, what happened?
Wow.
Yeah, all of that, 99.5% has been given free of charge. It is all given because the entire system can be handled by them independently. Fortunately, they are being handled independently. Just imagine if your heart wall comes, hey sir, should I open the wall or should I close this wall? Should I put it in the artery or should I put it in the vein? Should I have it pulmonary or do that? Or the stomach will come and say, oh sir, what juice should I put? Liver, what juice? Every file goes to the master and the master will have blocks and blocks of files on his table. Sir, मेरा 5 रुपया ले लो, मेरा फाइल पहले करो. आज का दिन ऐसा नहीं होता है. Every system is independently handled. Yes or no? Can you see the wowness of it? Can you see the wonder of that? Every system functions independently. Nothing asks the other. But holistically it works that whatever is good for me, I will do it. Yes or no? The physical body says, whatever is good, I'll keep it. What is not good, I'll throw it away. Yes or no? So all of you repeat after me. What is good, I keep.
What is good I keep.
What is not good, I throw away.
What is not good, I throw away.
Once again, I wanted to say this, but say it with commitment because you can't retrieve those words afterwards. You can't retrieve the words. Yes or no?
Yes.
So now all of you repeat after me. What's good, I keep.
What's good I keep.
What's bad, I throw.
What's bad I throw.
All youngsters, please note, you can't withdraw this statement once you make it. Okay, just like an oath that you have taken it. What's good, I keep. What's bad, I throw.
What's good, I keep. What's bad, I throw.
Even the excretory system, no, that is there in your body. You go and ask that excretory. The excretory system comes back to you. Sir, आपने कल रात को जो खाना खाया था, इतना बदबू आता है, इतना ये है, उसको फेंकू क्या? अगर आपके पास आके पूछे कि क्या फेंकू क्या, आप क्या बोलेंगे? अरे क्या बात है? कल गया था 5 स्टार होटल में, 5,000 का बिल आया था, इतना जल्दी फेंकोगे क्या? 2 दिन और रखो। आपके लिए क्या है? आपने पैसा कितना गया घर पर से वो इम्पोर्टेंट है, लेकिन शरीर के लिए क्या है? What is good it gives, and what is bad it throws away. Yes or no, my dear friends?
Yes.
If that is the system, every system of your body functions on that intellect. And that intelligence is what every part of your body is doing. The mind is only a 0.5%. The mind is only a 0.5%. Even for that, the hardware is given. Only the software is what you have put. What is the software you're putting? You're putting some formulas. The formula is, if he rejects me, I feel hurt. Who put this formula? Who put this formula? It is not the formula that is coming from the hardware. Does it come from there? Oh, if he teases me, I'll be hurt. Oh, if I go through failure, I'll be hurt. Oh, if I am cheated, I'll be hurt. You call a buffalo and tell the buffalo, oh, buffalo, you're a donkey. It's a rejection to the buffalo. Yes or no? Yes or no? It's a rejection to the buffalo. But what the buffalo does, it says, and it walks off. It has no such formula. Here you have a formula because you have a mind and you put the software, you put formulas into that. And you put formula, one such formula is, if rejected, I'll be hurt. If somebody has a difference of opinion, I'll be hurt. If somebody differs with me, I'll be hurt. If somebody disrespects me, I'll be hurt. All these are formulas which are hurting me. They are whipping me. They are not the ones which are empowering me. Yes or no, my dear friends? Learn to audit your own formulas. What is that formula which is 0.5%? It says, with that 0.5% of that formula that you have put in, the hurt is not because of the rejection. The hurt is because of the formula. The failure is not because of the failure. The hurt is not because of the failure. The hurt is because of your formula. So all of you tell, what is A plus B whole square? Now, come on, what is A plus B whole square? A squared plus B squared plus? Now that formula remains, isn't it? It has its own answer in that. Whether you are in Timbuktu or in Udaipur or in Toronto or in Sydney, wherever you go, the system, that very formula has its own answer. A plus B whole squared is equal to A squared plus B squared plus 2AB. That's the answer. Similarly, if you have a formula, if hurt I am rejected, that formula is the cause for the hurt that happens. Yes or no? Yes or no? Therefore learn to have healthy formulas in yourself. Then you'll see a big difference. And if you say somebody rejects me or somebody doesn't accept my project, I'll be hurt. If I get low marks, I'll be hurt. And with that kind of thing, my dear friends, what is amazing is, with less than 0.5% of your entire body, we have got the mastery of the whole body. Somebody jumps off from the terrace and 99.5% of everything has been lost. Just because that 0.5% is saying something bad. Somebody goes onto the rope and then hangs himself simply because this 0.5% is not healthy. Yes or no? It can demolish the 99.5% which is not yours. 99.5% not yours. Yes or no? अरे आप लोग हाँ बोले, नहीं आप लोग एक काम करना पड़ेगा. अपना हाथ ऊपर करो, सब लोग ऊपर करो हाथ. सब कुछ तेरा. Say loudly after me. सब कुछ तेरा. Am I right in saying that? Am I right? Say loudly, no. Be truthful and learn to accept what the fact is. सब कुछ तेरा है. सब तेरा है. सब कुछ तेरा है. सिर्फ ये एक मेरा है. सिर्फ ये एक मेरा है. And सिर्फ ये एक मेरा है. And with that मेरा, what am I doing? I want you to see the wonder of it and see the wowness of it. When the Lord gave you the freedom and also the independence to put in your own formulas, He didn't give it to a donkey, He didn't give it to a monkey, He didn't give it to a crocodile, He didn't give it to an insect or a bird. He gave it to a human being. Yes or no, my dear young boys and girls, hear me. Is it correct or not? He gave it to a young person, and he gave it to a human being, saying, here I am giving you the independence to put your own formulas into your mind. Yes or no? And that independence, what are you doing with that independence? Just imagine the languaging of the Lord while giving you that independence. My dear friend, I have handled the kinds of software of living conditions for the animals, birds, this, that, insects, etc. To you, the human being, I am giving you this 0.5% of hardware to put the software inside. I am giving you entirely your own freedom to put in whatever software you like, to put in any kind of programming you want, put in any kind of manual of instruction that you desire, and learn to run your life with that mind. Yes or no, my dear friends? Is this not the languaging that the Lord would have used in giving you that freedom? My question is, what are you doing with that freedom? Everybody is quiet. What are we doing with that freedom? Are we supporting the balance or are we disrupting life? Pardon? Disrupting life. Here it is. Give a big hand to that young group. That understanding will make a big difference to them when they know that what they are doing and thinking in their minds is what is causing disruption, even though it is only 0.5%. It's a shame that we are doing that, and then the big difference will start happening in your life. This is what we need to be alert of as youngsters. Learn to bring wowness into your geography book. Learn to contribute. Use the mind as a contributing faculty, not as an impacting faculty. Your mind can be a contributor, yes or no? How do you think that somebody who is very bad paristhiti brought out this manasthiti and therefore became the president of the country, with his manasthiti became an IAF officer, became a successful person? How did Barack Obama become the president of the United States of America? How did somebody else who was in very humble background became such a top person? Because they had the contributing mind. The contributing mind is not in terms of money, but to look at the positive things of whatever is happening before you. If that is a contribution you can do, yes or no? So bring that contribution into your life, then a wowness will start happening in your life. Then you will see everything is indeed a celebration. When you see a celebration, everything is indeed a celebration. You may say, क्या बात है सर? दुनिया में सब चीज है, उधर भी आवाज है, इधर भी फोर्थ है, उधर भी मैरिज है, क्या बात है? सब जगह ऐसा है. A kind of gladness. No, you come out of it and see celebration in everything. Can I make a small process with all of you? Will you all join me? Because I don't want this to only to be an intellectual understanding or a concept. It has to become part of your life, and then you can project it further. Yes or no? All youngsters will also join me in the process? Yes? Okay, now, all of you have passed through your age of 4 years. Yes or no? And passed through the age of 4. So at the age of 4, there was a wowness at everything. When you look at something, when you put the light here, the light is burning there. I press the button there, the light is going off. I press the button another here, the fan is rotating. There has to be a wow in whatever we were doing. Yes or no? In the same way, I want you all to pass through the age of 4 years. Just recall yourself as 4 years, right? Don't keep a CEO look and then do 4 years. Become a child. Become a child. We're all a family, okay? Family of Radha and Lalita. Yes or no, like that? Yes. All of you join me? Now take your hands in forward like this. Now please go along with me and understand it, then you will see a wowness in what I am saying. If you can project this into your life, it will be a very good thing. Once again, put your hands here. Brown soil. अरे थोड़ा आईलिड्स को ऊपर करो, आईलिड्स को ओपन करो, करो चेहरा. इसलिए ना मैं योगासन में बोलता हूँ, चेहरे को भी मूव कर रहा है. Because face muscles don't smile at all. The face muscles cannot smile because you have not exercised those muscles. So once again, brown soil. थोड़ा आईज ओपन करो, करो, बच्चे जैसा बोलो. Brown soil. Brown soil. Brown trunk. Brown trunk. Brown branches. Green leaf. Shade green leaf. Now that you know what I'm talking about, suddenly, I'm telling you, you know many things. As you keep knowing, the knowing causes a deletion of wowness. I'm saying something philosophical, but it's very understanding to understand this. You learned Archimedes' principle. Until you learned Archimedes' principle, the application of Archimedes' principle was a wow. Until you learned what is Newton's theory, the application of Newton's theory was a wow. Yes or no? When you knew it, there is a deletion. Electricity, you're light comes, light out, fan on, Then once you knew it is electricity and there is a circuit breaker and there is an incandescent light there, then once you came to know, your jnanam, your knowledge is causing a deletion. For want of time, I am cutting it short. Your jnanam is making it a deletion of your vowness. Is jnanam given, is knowledge being given to you to delete your vowness? But we are making it like that. Are we not doing it? I know Archimedes principle. I know Newton's. I know this. I know that. I know industrial management. I know that. I went and saw that machine, PET scan machine that was there 2 months back in the Apollo hospital. And to see that PET scan machine, wow, what kind of technology. That vowness is there. So, you know the tree is there. Once again, whether you know it or not, come on, join up with me. Brown soil. Brown soil. Brown trunk. Brown branches. Brown branches. Green leaf. Are shades of green leaf. Shades of green leaf. White flower. Anand, come on, white flower. Red flower. Orange flower. Blue flower. Yellow flower. Are apple. Are orange. Are pineapple. Are banana. Are coconut. Are limbu. Are pomegranate. Put your hand here on your cheeks and say, how? Let me answer that question. How, my dear friends, from brown you got green? Tell me. You know so many things, no? You will say photosynthesis and DNA and this. I don't want to know all that.
Sir, you told us.
Brown is becoming green. Yes or no? Shades of green. You try and convert brown into green and I'll give you all the resources of the world. You will take away tons and tons of resources and come out with 100 grams of green. And here a simple tree. It's converting brown into green. Shades of green. And what? Some of them white flowers, some of them yellow flowers, some of them blue. If this does not bring wowness in you, your knowledge is creating the deletion. Yes or no, my dear friends? Yes. Shiva Sutras mein Lord Shiva is saying Jnanam Jagrata. Jagrata is very simple words. Jnanam Jagrata is Sanskrit word. What is Jagrata? Awakens. He says knowledge awakens. What is true in our own lives? Knowledge awakens? No. Jnanam sleepata. More and more knowledge, more and more sleep. Can you see the diverse that is happening within ourselves? How we are using our mind? We are not using the mind as a contributing faculty. We are using the mind as an impacting faculty. Of all the paristhiti will impact me and I become distraught. If I can use it as a contributing faculty, then I bring celebration into a simple tree. I bring some celebration into somebody disagreeing with me. I'll bring celebration into a diverse that happened before me. I'll bring celebration to the very kind of disease that has happened to me. I'll bring celebration to anything that happens before me. Once you are having that level of celebration, a tremendous difference will start taking place in our life. Yes or no? Therefore, first, learn to be very enthusiastic in your life, to see, drop that boredom center, let it be an enthusiastic center. Second, learn to bring inspiration into your life. Inspiration cannot be brought out by anything that is outside. It is ordinary people who will get inspired by seeing extraordinary things. They see Niagara Falls, when they see something beautiful, Niagara Falls, and they get inspired. But extraordinary people will get inspired by seeing ordinary things. The most miracle of a person that is there before me is sitting right in front of me. Believe me, the greatest miracle that the universe can have is sitting right in front of me. If I can see that, then I will see as an extraordinary being. Learn the art of bringing in inspiration to anything that you go through. Your geography book is a great wow. Your maths book, somebody is smiling there. I want you to bring it because that rawness is coming from within you. It's not coming from the geography book. It's not coming from the maths book. You have to bring in. That is the contributing faculty of the mind. And if you can do that, a tremendous difference will start taking place. First is therefore be enthusiastic. Second is be inspirational. And thirdly, learn to celebrate. And when you do that, all these three things will bring your life. A tremendous difference will start taking place. If anything can be contagious, can this be contagious? Not the TB. Yes or no? Let us give a big hand to yourself and thank you very much for the patient visit. I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I am really humble enough to accept your standing ovations for this wonderful talk. I myself didn't prepare for it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the word of guidance. I request the thank you card by Sai and Harita.
Stop it. Stop it.
I don't know how to express your voice. Really, I'm telling you, sir.
Is the thank you card ready, Sai and Harita?
I have to appreciate. I don't know how to express my feeling so much.